all come under the control statement, control flow statement. So control flow is nothing but if we want to control the execution of our program, then we can use this control flow statement. So under that, we have decision making and then looping and then branching. So yesterday we saw about decision making. So based on the conditions we are giving, we are just asking the program to be executed based on the condition. So under that we saw if else and then switch. So if else has nothing but it has a if part and then a else part. So if the condition satisfies, then it will execute the if part. If not, then it will just execute the else part. So we have a normal if else and then if else later at last nested if. So if in a if else later we can have n number of conditions other than if and else. Okay, and then for else part we no need to write a condition because it's just going to execute the thing which doesn't cover in these conditions in the remaining part. Okay, and then in nested if we are just using if and else in parent if. So it is called as a nested if. And then we also saw about switch statement. So in switch statement, the main disadvantage is we can't give the conditions in range. So if I want to add 2 to 3 conditions, then I need to use only comma. It's impossible to give in the range. And then definitely I need to give a break statement. So if I won't give a break statement, then the condition or then the statement other than the answer will also be executed. So the break statement is important. And then if we give the number other than the things which are present in the case, then what will happen? The default statement will be executed. So this is what we saw. And then I gave you some, one problem is I gave you one problem and I asked you MCQs. Okay. Now we will move to the looping statement. So looping statement is nothing but if I want to make my program to be executed continuously, then I can use this looping statement. So if the condition becomes true, then the program will be executed continuously. So here also the condition has to be true. The condition is true, then the block of code will be executed repeatedly. So under this we have three types: for, while, and do while. So in for we have a normal for loop and then for each loop. So now we are just going to see about only for loop. Okay, the normal for loop that for each loop will be seen in later because we won't use this now. We will use that only in non-primitive data type like array. There only we will be using that for each loop. So now we are just going to see only the for loop. So for looping, definitely we need initialization. So initialization is nothing but where I have to start. For example, if the program has, if I want to print the numbers means, then definitely you guys will ask me a question. Soundria, where I have to start? Which number I have to print first? Definitely you guys will ask this question. So for that, I need to give you initialization. I'm just asking you to print a number which starts from 5. So this is initialization. Next, condition. So I am just asking you to write a condition. I am asking you to print a number from which starts from 5 and then the number should be less than 11. So what will happen? You guys will write a number from 5 to 10 because less than 11 means 10. Okay, so here we are giving a condition. Later, The number has to be changed from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and 9 to 10. So what happened? Here the number is increasing by plus 1. So again we are using the updation. So updation means that unary operator plus plus. We will be using that. So if we don't use that means then our number won't be update. It will be in the same number as a 5. So if we want to update the number, then we need to use the updation. So for loop, we need initialization and then condition and then updation. Okay, so we can write all these in a single line, and then we will be using for keyword, and then inside this bracket we will write all this. So later inside this we will write our method logic or the print statement which we want to print. So this is the syntax for loop. Okay, so if the condition becomes true only, then the method body will be executed. If not, it will terminate from the loop and it stop the flow of program. Let me show you an example. Okay, I mean image. So first initialization expression. That means we are just initializing a variable. Later we are giving a test condition. Later, so if the condition becomes true, then the loop body will execute. I mean the print statement or the business logic which we are giving inside will be executed only if the condition becomes true. Okay. So later it will update the expression. So this is the normal flow. So what will happen if the test condition becomes false? So if the condition becomes false, then it will exit from the loop. It will stop running the program. It will terminate from the loop. Okay, guys, did you understand this theory concept? If yes, then we will move to the program. Guys, can you please reply?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So in SRC folder, I'm just going to create a package called looping. And then under that, I'm just going to create a class called for loop. Okay. So the syntax is first we need to write a for keyword. So inside this, we need to initialize a variable. So I'm just going to use a data type integer. So integer, I'm just naming my variable as I. This is my wish. So now I'm just using as an I equal to 1. I mean, I'm just starting my variable from 1. And then I'm just writing a condition that I should be less than 11. And then I need updation because I need to switch from one number to another number. So I need updation. So for increment, then I need to give I plus plus. So what is the meaning for plus plus? Plus plus means plus 1. So I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So the number will increase. So this is the syntax for keyword and then the data type, the variable name, and then we need to initialize. We can start from anything. It's our wish. Now I'm just asking you to print a number from 1 to 10. So I am starting from 1. Then the semicolon. So later I need to give a condition that I is less than 11. So less than 11 means absolutely 10. It will print up to 10. So later I need to update my value so that only it will switch from 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and etc. So inside this I need to write my method logic or business logic. So I need to use this curly braces. Inside this I'm just going to print the number. So I'm just writing print numbers. So and these print numbers will be printed as such. So I want to get the number. So what happened here? My number is storing in a variable called I. So if I print this I, then I can get the value of I. I mean I can get the number. So here this I is nothing but the variable where each and every number is storing here. So this print number is nothing but just a statement which I need. Okay. So here I need to use a plus symbol to merge both of this. Okay. So to merge something, then we need to use a plus symbol. Now we will run this. See, my number started from 1 and then I have given a condition like I is less than or equal to, sorry, less than 11. So it is printed up to the number 10. And then here I'm just asking to update. So by this update only, the number is increasing. So what will happen means I equal to 1. So here in place of 5, it is replaced with 1. So it will check the condition. Okay, 1 is less than or equal to 11. The condition becomes true. So once the condition becomes true means what will happen? It will print this statement. The condition becomes true. It will print this statement. So in this statement, I am just asking it to print the value of I. So now the value of I equal to 1. So only I is printed. I mean the number 1 is printed. Okay. So after this print statement, I'm just asking it to update. So after print statement only, the number will be updated. So I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So here I equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So now my value of I will be changed to 2. So here in place of 1, it will be replaced with a 2. So here also it will change as a 2. So 2 is less than 11. Yeah, the condition becomes true. So if the condition becomes true, then it will execute the print statement. Now my value of I equal to 2. So only in place of 5, number 2 is printed. So after this print statement, again we are just asking it to update. So I plus plus, I mean 2 plus plus, I mean 2 equal to 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 equal to 3. So now the value of I is equal to 3. And then here we are just checking the condition 3 is less than 11. So the process will keep on going like this. Okay. Now think that I got a number 10. Okay, now I got a number 10. So I equal to 10 and then 10 is less than 11. The condition satisfies and then we are just printing the number 10. Later what happened here? The number will be updated to 11. So now my value of I will be changed to 11. So here also the condition will be 11 is less than 11. So what will happen? My condition becomes false. 11 is not less than 11. 11 is equal to 11. As the condition becomes false, it will execute or it will exit. It will exit from the loop and then it will stop executing this line. It will come out of this loop. As the condition becomes fail, it will stop running this print statement. So only I didn't get number 11. It stopped up to 10. So based on these conditions only, we can make that how many times the program has to run. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
Yes, Soundarya.
Okay. So now I want someone to answer. Okay. Now I printed number from 1 to 10. What I have to do if I want to print a number in reverse order? I want to print a number from 10 to 1. So my output should be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To get a reverse order, what I have to do here? The syntax is same. Only we have to change this initialization and then this condition and then this updation. Based on that, just reply me so that we can change. Now you guys are going to answer. What I have to do if I want to get a number in reverse order, like my output should be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What I have to do? Just think. Guys, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. What
For
about?
int, for
Hmm,
int I equal to 10
okay.
initialization. Then increment instead of increment we need to decrement that things I minus minus.
Okay.
For that I we need to start once again.
Okay.
I greater than or equal to 1.
Okay. Now we will run this program. Yeah, your answer is right. So first we need to start a number from 10 because that is the number I need to print first. So initialization will be 10. Later I need to give a condition that I need to get my last number as a 1. So either you can give I is less than or equal to 1 or I is less than, sorry, or either you can give like this also. I is greater than 0 or I should be greater than or equal to 1. You can use any condition. Okay. Then I need to do a decrement because the number has to be decreased. So as the number has to be decreased, then I have to use I minus minus. So what will happen in place of this I, 10 will be replaced. So 10 is greater than or equal to 1, the condition becomes true, then it will print this statement. So in place of I, the number 10 will be printed, and then later the number will be updated 10 minus minus. So 10 minus 1 equal to 9, and then now I will be replaced with a 9, and then the process will keep on going like this, and then we will get an output like this. Okay, super. Your answer is right. Okay. So what I have to do if I want to get only an even number? I mean, I'm just asking you to print a numbers from 1 to 10, but particularly I want only even numbers. I mean, my output should be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. This is the output I want. Then how you guys will print? Do you have any idea? First, think how to print a even number. Then we can merge that concept into this. Okay, I will just ask you a question. How do you segregate even number and odd number? Based on what conditions you will separate a number as a even or odd number? So based on what condition the number is called a even number or the number is called an odd number? What is the condition we will use usually in our math? Guys, what happened? I think so. This is not that much tough question. Why you guys were silent? What is the condition we will use to separate a number as a even or to separate a number as an odd number? What the condition we will use usually? Okay, what is an even number and what is an odd number?
2468 that is even, and
Okay,
1357 that is odd.
okay. So how we will categorize this? What condition we will be using to segregate a number? Or based on what condition you are saying that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or even and then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 or odd? What is the condition behind that?
That I don't know.
Values
Okay.
divided by 0 divided by 2 equal to 0.
Yeah. So when I divide a number by 2, if I get my output as 0, or if I get my remainder as 0, then the number is called as a even number. So 4, when I divide 4 by 2, what will happen? 2 2s are 4. So my remainder will be a 0. So it is called as a even number. When I divide 3 by 2, then 2 ones are 2. Remaining 1 will be there because 3 minus 2 equal to 1. So my remainder will be 1. If I need to solve that further, then I will be using a decimal. I will add a decimal at the top, then I will add a 0, etc. So if I divide a number by 2, and then if I get a 0 as a reminder, then that numbers are called as an even number. If not, the remaining numbers are called as an odd number. So this is the condition. So in our operation class, we saw something. I mean addition, subtraction, operation, etc. So if I want to get a reminder, which operator I have to use? Which
Modulo.
operator is, yes, modulo. So think that I am just commenting this, okay. So I'm just picking a number, integer n equal to 5. And then I'm just writing a condition. Okay, to check whether if the condition becomes true means, then we will ask that Java to execute some line. I mean some business logic. If the condition becomes false, then we will ask Java to execute the other part. So we will be using if and else condition here. So based on the condition, we are checking whether it's an even or odd. So I'm just using the if. So inside this, I'm just saying n means the number. I mean the variable which I am giving. The variable or the data where the variable where the data are storing. So if n modulo 2 equal to 0, then I am just asking it to print it as a even number. If not, then I am asking it to print as a odd number. So what will happen? Here n equal to 5. So in place of n, I will write 5. So when I divide 5 by 2, if I get a reminder, because modulo is nothing but to get a reminder. So if I divide 5 by 2, and while dividing, if my output is, or if my reminder is equal to 0. So if my remainder is equal to 0 means, then it is called a even number. If my remainder is not equal to 0, then what will happen? This else part will be executed. So what will happen? In else part, we are just asking it to print as a odd number. So if the remainder is not equal to 0, so equal to means it will just compare the number with 0. It will compare the remainder with 0. So if both the numbers are same, then it is called a even number. If not, then it is called a odd number. So what will happen? When I divide 5 by 2, the remainder will be 1. So 1 is not equal to 0. So the condition fails. The condition fails, then this if part will not be executed. Only the else part will be executed. So in output, I will get as odd number. Okay. So this is the condition to check whether a number is an even number or odd number. Okay, guys, did you understand this concept?
Yes, Soundarya.
Okay. So in my loop, loop is nothing but I want to print the numbers repeatedly until the condition becomes false. So I'm just asking you to print a number which starts from 0 to 10. Then we will be using only the normal condition and the normal initialization, etc. So now I'm just asking you to print only the even number. So what we have to do means we have to merge these both concepts. Now I have to include this if part in my for loop. Okay, so that is the task now. So in my for loop, I'm just writing a condition. So this is my normal syntax. Okay, I equal to 0 and then I is less than or equal to 10 and then I plus plus. This is a normal syntax. So inside this, I'm just asking it to print only the even number. So to print only the even number, I'm just using the if condition. And then here the variables, the data are storing in the variable called I. So here also I'm just using a variable I. So if I divide the variable I with a 2, and then if my remainder is equal to 0, so if my remainder is equal to 0, then I am just asking it as a to print it is an even number. So I'm just asking to print that number also. So to print that number, just use that plus symbol and then use the variable name. Here the variable name is I. So if not, it is called as okay. Now I want only that if I mean the even number. Let's see whether it's right or wrong. Yeah, it's right. So what will happen? This 0 will be replaced here. So when I divide 0 by 2, my answer will be 0. So the value of I will be 0 now. So the number 0 is printed. Later, after updation, 0 plus 1 equal to 1. So after updation, the value of I will be a 1. And then I is less than or equal to 10. This condition becomes true. So what will happen? If the condition becomes true only, it will come into this if part because this if part is inside this for loop. So inside this for loop only, this if part is present. So if the condition becomes true, then it will come to the if part. And in here, this I will be replaced with 1. When I divide 1 with 2, my remainder is not going to be a 0. So here the condition fails. So if the condition fails, then it will stop executing. It will just come out of this part. So it will just skip this line number 9, 10, 11. It won't execute this line number 10 because the condition becomes false. So later what will happen? Only this part becomes fail, but this part is true. So what will happen? It will stop executing this part and then it will directly move to this updation. So in updation, it will change it as I plus plus means 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So now again, my value will be 2 and then 2 is less than 10. And then here also 2 divided by 2, my remainder will be a 0. So the condition becomes true. And then I'm just asking it to print the number. So I equal to 2. So the process will keep on going like this. And then at last my value of I will be 11. So if the value of I is 11 means this condition becomes false. If the condition becomes false means then it won't execute this part. It won't enter. This whole loop will be exited. And then it will come out of this loop. And then it won't print anything. So if I want to print anything, then I can give this outside the loop. So this is the thing where the loop ends. Okay. So if I want to print something outside the loop, Then I need to give this outside this bracket and then just asking to print loop exited. So now what will happen? Up to 10, the number is printed. So in 11, the condition becomes fail. So it stop executing. The loop terminates here. It terminates in line number 13 because here the whole program is changed in line number 7. So by this condition, if my condition is false, it stop executing and then it will just come to the line number 15. I mean, it just come out of the loop. My loop ends here. So it will just come out of the loop and then it will check whether if there is any statement below that. So if there is any statement, then it will execute or print that statement. If not, if I didn't give any statement, then it will leave it as such. Okay, guys, did you understand this? We are using a condition inside the for loop. So we are merging two concepts here. So when we are just going somewhat advanced concept, then we have to merge 2 to 3 concepts. Okay, guys, did you understand this concept?
Yes, Abel. Yes.
Okay, super. This is normal for loop, and then inside that for loop, I'm just using the if condition to check whether the number is divisible by 2 or not. You can give any condition, okay, based on your need. So this is for loop. Now we will move to the next part, while loop. So while loop is also just to print a number repeatedly, but here only the syntax changes, okay. Here we will use a keyword called while and then see the step number 1. So here we will initialize a number outside this part. What will happen? I mean, here we are just initializing in the same line, that initialization and then condition and then updation. We all given these 3 in a same line. But in while loop, we will initialize a variable outside. We will just initialize here. Okay, so the initialization place will be changed in while loop. And then we will use a keyword called a while, and then inside that we will write a condition. I mean, I is less than or equal to 10. I should be greater than or equal to 11. Something, the condition we are just giving here. And then again, we have to use this bracket, and then inside this bracket, I am just writing the body of the loop or business logic or the statement which need to be executed. So after this, I am just asking it to update the variable. I mean, I plus plus or I minus minus something. So here also, if the condition becomes so, we will initialize the variable in top. So if the condition becomes true, then this body of the loop will be executed. And then once a statement is executed, it will just update the value. It will keep on going. But if the condition becomes false, okay, if the condition becomes false, then it will come out of the loop. It will print the statement outside the loop. The condition becomes true, then it will again move to this while part, and then it will just check the condition again. And if it's true, it will execute this. It will keep on going. So this is the difference between for loop and while loop. So when we know the number of iterations earlier, and iterations is nothing but the number of count. I mean the number of times the program has to be executed. If I know the number of iterations earlier, then I can use for loop. If not, I need to use a while loop. And then initialization is condition check. So condition is checked before each time. Iteration is nothing but just count or check. Okay, each and every time it's running. So each and every time it will check the condition. and then execution will be same, 0 or more times it will execute. If the condition is true, then it will execute 0 or more times. Okay. So this is the syntax for keyword, and then initialization, condition, updation, increment or decrement. But in while loop, in while keyword, we need to give only the condition. The initialization will be at the top, and then the updation will be at the bottom. So here the initialization is inside the loop definition. This is called the loop definition. So this is inside the loop definition. But in while loop, it is outside the loop. I mean, we will be writing outside the while keyword. So both the updation will be inside the loop definition. Here also it is inside the loop body. This is the difference between the for loop and while loop. Now we will just move to the example. Okay. So in looping, I'm just going to create a class called while. So everything is same. Based on the requirements we need, we are just changing whether we need a while loop or we need a for loop or we need a do while or we need a for each. Based on the conditions or based on the requirements, we are just changing that. Okay, so here I'm just initializing my variable at the top. So I'm just creating a variable called n, and then I'm just asking to print a number from 1 to 10. So I'm just initializing with n equal to 1. Later, I need to write a while keyword. So inside this while keyword, I need to write a condition. So here I'm going to print a number up to 10. So n is less than 11, or we can write as n is less than or equal to 10. So inside this, I'm going to write my statement or my business logic. So here I'm just writing only the print statement. So in my print statement, the numbers printed are, I need to print this number. So I need to print the variable name. If I print my variable name, then obviously I can get the number which is stored. So inside this, I need to write the updation. I mean n plus plus. So this is the syntax for while loop. Now if I run this, my output is going to be same, like 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. My output is same, but the syntax is changing. Here we are just initializing outside the loop, and then the updation is done inside the body, and then just we are giving the condition in the while keyword. Remaining the logic is same. Okay, the logic is also same, but only the syntax differs. Okay, guys, did you understand this while loop?
Yes, Soundarya.
Okay, so please note a question. How will you print an odd number? I mean, I'm just asking to print a number 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I'm asking to print this number in while loop. We saw an example in for loop. Now, you guys have to try this as their homework and just show me an output tomorrow. Okay. How to print an odd number in while loop? This is a question for you guys. Okay, have you noted? And then one more question is, um, how will you check whether the given year is a leap year or not? So leap year means what the condition we will be using. So you guys have to think the logic. Okay, what is the leap year and what is the condition we have to use? Just search in online if you don't have any idea, and then write the program to check whether the number is a leap year or not. So that is going to be our second question. And then our third question will be mm, print a number which is divisible by 3 and 6. Print a number, just give the number from 1 to 50. Okay, the range should be 1 to 50, and then check whether the number is divisible by 3 and 6. Okay, guys, did you get my question?
Yes, Amber.
Okay, so I have gave 3 questions. So while loop is also similar to for loop, only the syntax change. Okay, now we will just move to the do while loop. Okay, so do while loop is also similar to while loop, but only one condition is changing here. What means? So here the name represents do while. So whenever the program runs in a while loop or for normal for loop, it will just check the condition earlier. So only if the condition becomes true, it will execute this print statement. If the condition becomes false, then it won't execute this print statement. This is what we saw in for loop and while loop. But in do while, at that is something changes there. Okay, so the change is whatever the condition is. We can give the whatever condition. Even though the condition becomes false, it will execute the program at least once. So even though the condition which we are giving does not satisfy, even though the condition becomes false, it won't think about that. It will execute the program at least once. I mean, what will happen? It will just do its work first. It will just print the statement or it will just execute the method logic first. I mean, for only one time. So after it executing the program for only one time, then later only for second time, it will check the condition. So while printing an output for second time, it will check the condition. Okay, here if the condition becomes true, then it will keep on executing the program or not. If not, the condition becomes a fail here, then it will exit from the loop. Even though the condition is false at first, it will execute the program at least once. So first it will do the program. Later only it will check the condition. So this is the syntax. First we need to write a do keyword and then bracket. Inside this we need to write a condition or the statement to be executed or the body of the loop, etc. Whatever we need to write inside this do part. So after this, we need to update. So after updation only, what will happen? See here, I have given my print statement. Okay. So in my second part, my print statement will be executed. So after execution, it will just move to the updation. So after this updation only, we are just giving a condition. So the condition is checking only in line number 4, but the program is executed in line number 2 itself. So what happened after updation only, it will check the condition. So if the condition becomes true, then again the process will continue. Like again, it will print the print statement. The program will be continuing. If not, while checking the condition becomes fail, then it will come out of the loop. And then it will print the statement if anything is present outside the loop. Okay. So it will execute the program at least once, even though the condition become fail. So when we have to use means whenever you need the output, whenever you need the output at least once, then we need to use do while loop. But here only the condition becomes true means only we will get the output. But here it won't check the condition for first time. It will just run the loop as such. So after running only it will check the condition. So compulsorily it will execute at least one time. But here it is not necessary. The condition is false at earlier, then it won't execute the program. But here at least one time the program will be executed. So inside this do part, we will be writing our business logic or print statement, etc. And then in while part, we will be writing this condition. And then here also the initialization is outside the loop, and then increment or decrement will be present inside the loop body. Okay, guys, did you understand this theory concept of do while loop? If you understood, then we can move to the program. Shall we move line once again? Guys, am I audible? Okay. So in my looping part, I'm just going to create a class called the do while. I need a main method. So what is the purpose of main method? So it is just a starting point. Whenever we give a run, our Java will check where is the main method. So main method is just the starting point where the program will run. Okay. So here the initialization is outside the loop. So I'm just giving my variable name as k and initializing with 1. So here I'm just asking to print a number from 1 to 10. Same as such 1 to 10. So first I need to write a do part. So inside this do part I need to write my print statement and then just the number is plus the variable name. And then later I need the updation. So okay plus plus. So here I need to write a condition. So my condition is k is less than 11 or less than or equal to 10. So what will happen? It will print the number from 1 to 10. So initialization and then do keyword. So inside this the print statement, later updation. So outside this do part only we are writing a condition. So I'm just changing the condition. So now I'm just changing the condition. I'm just initializing my variable with a but my condition is k should be greater than 11. So what will happen? Here k will be 1. Okay. Then in line number 9, I have this do part. Then it will come to this do part. So in line number 10, I have print statement. And then in print statement, I'm just asking to print the value of k. So here the value of k is 1. So it is printed. In line number 10, it is printed. After printing, I'm just asking to update. So while updation, my 1 is changed to 2. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So after this updation, it will move to the line number 12. In line number 12 only, I am just giving the condition. So here I am just giving the condition that k should be greater than 11. But here my value of k will be 2. So 2 is greater than 11. The condition becomes fail. So what will happen? If the condition becomes fail, then it will terminate from this loop. It will come out of the loop. It won't print anything because we don't have any print statement outside this loop. So it won't print anything. It will just come out of the loop. Okay. So even though my condition fail here, it will print the value at least once because I have given my print statement earlier. After only I'm just asking you to check the condition. But this condition, this process or this thing is strictly not allowed in for loop and while loop. This case is only available in this do while loop. It will execute the statement at least once, even though the condition is false. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So if I want to write something outside the loop terminator. So my output will be the number is 1 and then the loop terminated. Because why this statement is executing? This statement is outside the do part. The do part of the do loop is terminating in line number 12. So after that, the loop will finish. So I'm just writing this statement outside the loop. So if there is any print statement of the or if there is any business logic outside the loop, then it will execute. The condition becomes fail means it will just keep this whole path and then it will just jump to this line number 14 and it will execute this statement. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope you understood. Okay, check whether we can write condition in do while. This is also a task for you. If writing condition is possible in do while loop, then just print a even number in do while. Okay, this is a task for you guys. I think so. I gave nearly 4 questions, 4 to 5 questions. Okay, guys, did you understand today's concept? Eh, if you have any doubts, then you can ask me, guys. Guys, do you have any doubts? If not, we can wind up our session. Am I audible? Okay.
No,
Okay, thank you.